the founders, how well the founders have done thus far from the beginning of the program to this stage. So founders are going to receive feedback to improve or be dropped from the program. I would like to take that again. Founders will receive feedback from the mentors, either to improve or be dropped. And the criteria for that, for rating the founders today, is one, is the idea viable? Is there a real customer problem? Is there a real customer? Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on.
Yes, we're hearing you. We're
Yes,
hearing
we can hear
And
you. It'd be super, Lady A, if you also could put these notes in chat.
okay, we'll do that.
Thank you.
Is there a real customer problem that is being solved? Has the research proven that the customer problem exists? Is the market viable to pursue? Is the market large enough to sustain your company, the company? Does the revenue model make sense? Is the business name memorable and compelling, and is the business likely to fail? So what about the, can the business be improved? And then is the founder the right person to be running the business? So our agenda is pretty straightforward today. We have 20 founders who everyone will be pitching. That is, you know, typical style in FI. Everyone gets the opportunity to pitch, and that pitch is a 3-minute pitch. Pitch deck used, and then the mentors will be selected to provide feedback. So that is all we're doing today. And mentors, thank you for honoring us. We're very, very grateful. So I have on the panel tonight, Mahmoud Mustafa, Faiz Bashir, Abubakar Abdullahi, Shola Adekunye. I saw Salisu Uba, yes, Bade Aluko. There's one more person. Daniel, okay, how could I have missed you? Yes, so Daniel Steves. And so we'll take your introductions from the mentors first before we go into the pitch session proper. So welcome everybody once again. Welcome founders, and I hope you're all ready to give your best pitch before this panel. And like I said, the goal of this session is to get the feedback to improve or be dropped from the program if your idea, you know, is not, you know, always said to you, it's not a failure. So even if you're dropped from the program, it's not a failure. It just means you work harder and on that idea or another idea and, you know, continue the journey. All right, so let's get moving. Mr. Shegun, please handle the introductions and then we can start with the pitches. Mentors need to introduce themselves, at least so that the founders, you know, get to know them.
Okay, thank you, Lydia. We have a team of 10 mentors. I'd just like for them to do their introductions. I'll probably mention the names, and if you could just give us, you know, 30 seconds, you know, introduction of who you are. Just, I'm sure they all know you guys, but just mention who you are. In alphabetical order, probably, or in no particular order. Abubakar?
Okay, so hello everyone.
Yes.
My name is Abubakar Abdullahi. I am co-founder, managing principal at the Front Office NG. I'm also co-founder at the Emerging Young Entrepreneur Initiative, where we work with students of universities, teaching them about agribusiness. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Badi, I think I saw Badi there now.
Yes, I think I'm there.
Good day, sir.
Afternoon, guys. How are you? It's nice to be here again.
Yeah.
My name is Badi Aluko. I was the founder. Now I'm the manager. So I'm an advisor. And I think the pleasure that I have going right now is being able to provide leadership, mentorship, and advising for startups across the globe. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to having a good session with you guys today.
Thank you.
Great. Is Shola there? Shola, is it in now? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Shola Adekoye, the founder of Open Innovation Access. We do at Open Innovation Access, we raise entrepreneurs in service across Africa, and really with the goal of really just raising ideas, unique ideas out of Africa, and working with startups like yourselves. We work with startups in Ghana and some other countries. Looking forward to working with you guys, and giving my thoughts and ideas on how to help advance your ideas. Thank you.
Great. Ima Noluwatosin, the mother. Ima. Okay, I don't think I've seen him also. Ibrahim Bashir. Ibrahim is also not in. Okay, Salisu. Yeah, Salisu is in. Oh. I think it's been knocked out. Salisu. Okay. Daniel, you're up next. I know I saw you here. Daniel Steves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello there, everybody.
How are you?
My name is Daniel Steves. I've been in the tech and business sector for about 40 years, and my beard doesn't look as long or Santa Claus-like in real life as it does on the screen. But it is pretty white, which is part of the element of experience. I saw a quote from a Nigerian just earlier today, and it said, gray hair doesn't mean you know anything. Yeah, but gray hair is an indication that maybe you do. And but to all of my Nigerians, all of my friends who have no hair, that doesn't mean you're not gray if you're old. You're just hiding it. Baday's got the bravery to have himself exposed. We're here to help you guys, and we're help you guys with I think Lady A has said before, this is like tough love. Right? We're not your friends. We're not your mother. We're not your brother. We're going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So good luck to everybody, and a pleasure to be here. I'll have my video back in a minute.
Okay, great one. Mahmoud. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today too. My name is Mahmoud Mustafa. I'm currently a VC in residence at an impact investment company called Lobos Capital here in Miami. And basically, we strategically provide funding for startup companies, mostly across Latin America and hopefully the African continent. Currently building a $30 million fund to invest in impact-driven companies across the African continent. I'm here to learn about what you guys have been working upon and how I could also share my ideas and give feedbacks that will hopefully give you the opportunity to learn from and also to grow from here. Thank you.
Thank you. Faiz, you're next. Faiz.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon, Faiz. How are you?
Okay, my name is Faiz. I'm the CEO of FlexiSoft EduSoft Limited, and FlexiSoft is an edtech company that provides solution to schools and the education sector. So this evening we are here to learn about the progress you've made so far, and give the feedback on how we can improve, and hopefully most of you will be able to scale to the next round. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Faiz. Before I move on, Ibrahim is in. Ibrahim, just a quick introduction. Ibrahim Bashir.
Hello, hello everyone. How are you? My name is Ibrahim Bashir, founder of Delali.com, and also a mentor with different organizations, including Founder Institute. My areas of specialization is everything startup, business related, marketing growth, hiring, fundraising, pitching, things like that. Yeah, I also run an advisory company for startups with 3 other co-founders from different parts of the world. And it's nice to connect with you, and looking forward to seeing your progress today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Is Chincha able to join? Sorry, let me check. I think he wasn't able to join. Okay, so if any mentor, probably it might also isn't it. So for mentors, I'll probably need to switch Daniel Steves with Ima, so that in case Daniel comes much later on, then we'll move. I'd like to apologize to mentors. I sent us the information on the process we're going to use tonight late. I'm sorry about that, but I hope we're ready. I'll keep apologizing, and I'm sorry. So it'll go this way. Each founder would have 3 minutes to pitch, and one mentor will use 2 minutes to review the founder pitch. We want to request that you don't bother asking them any questions, because you probably know by this time they should have been able to convince you what they want to do. 2 minutes, and then we move. If we do it this way, we'll be able to make 60 minutes. That's 1 hour for 10 founders. And so we'll be able to make the 2 hours we planned if we do that this way. So I'm sure there are no questions. If the other 2 mentors who want to join come in, would bring them in also, and then get them to move on. So we'd like to start with, immediately we want to start with the pitch event. Founders, I'm timing you. You have just 3 minutes to do what you need to do, and then be concise, and then just be ready. First to go will be John Uzo, and next will be John Akombi. And so John Uzo, John Akombi, in that order. So John Akombi, get your slides ready. John Uzo, get your slide. We need to make it quick, so we don't want to spend time. Admin, Katik, you'd help me make them able to share their screens.
Sigan,
yes, sir.
Could you also tell us which mentor is meant to provide the 2 minutes after?
Okay, beautiful. For these 2 first mentors, John Uzo and John Akombi, Abubakar Abdullahi will be providing the feedback. But other mentors could also, chip in whatever comments they have in the chat box. And
not in the chat box, in the written in their review link.
Okay, in their review link.
They use their review link.
Okay.
So whether they provide feedback real time here, the review link, they need to enter their comments into the links, okay, because the founders will be reading, taking that feedback from the links.
Okay, so
I think we take 2, reviews per mentor, per founder, from mentors.
No, 2 reviews. We said one mentor.
Well,
review.
Okay, just go ahead.
Okay, let's make it 1. Yeah. Okay. So, John, are you ready? John Uzo?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Your slides, share your screen.
Okay, please, can you
Okay.
confirm that you can see my screen?
Your time starts now. 3 minutes.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is John Uzo. I'm a founder of Shak and Bango, and we're building Schoolmates. So Schoolmates is an information management software for secondary schools and even other schools to help them manage their resources and connect with students, parents, teachers, and alumni. So we noticed that there is an inefficiency in the information management system in the education sector, especially in Nigeria. We noticed that too many schools need digital tools to handle their information, and there is a lot of missed revenue when schools don't connect with their alumni. So what is the solution is to build a cloud-based software that would allow schools to manage data and that will give entry to other schools to be able to use important tools, and that would allow for networking between schools, teachers, alumni, and other educational organizations. So what we're building is a cloud software, which will be ERP-based. It will allow parents and educators to connect with each other. For market validation, this industry is expected to be a $25 billion industry in 2026 and $30 billion in 2030, according to verified market research. So that's that. So the business model we're working with, we find that if we look at just 3% of the market, national market share, we're looking at premium subscription for each school, and then we will also make some revenue from commission on transactions for paying of school fees, and we'll also make ad revenue. There are other revenue streams. We offer digitization services. These are like outsourced services, including digital marketing services and other IT services that these schools may need. Our attraction so far in December last year, we got $5,000 from Tony Elumelu Foundation. In February this year, we launched our website. In April, we received 3K funding from friends. And in September, we've had a traction that's web visits of about 3,000 per month. Our competition, well, ours is we are more affordable and less expensive because we're giving easy entry to all secondary schools, on all primary schools, I should say, and secondary schools in the country and outside the country. Our go-to-market strategy will look at giving free offers, as I said before, and we have.
Thank you, John. Your time is up. Abdullah, feedback for him.
Okay, so well done, John. Actually, your deck has a lot of information. I don't know why you arranged it in this way, because I missed out on the key things that I wanted to see, to be honest. First, I was surprised that you rushed through the deck that had your serviceable addressable market. You spoke about the huge size of the market, but then you just ran through the slide that would have showed me what your market was. So your obtainable market and your addressable market would have been important information for me. You didn't get to the deck that showed me your team. So I think if you're going to do this again, you have all the information, you have a lot, you have some traction. You just need to reorganize your deck a lot better so that we can get a full picture of what it is you're doing, and so that we don't have lots of questions afterwards. It's quite interesting. I think that there should be some interest from me on this, but I just feel you didn't pick the right slides on your deck to focus on. So that'll be my response.
Okay. Thank you, Abubakar. Next up, John Akombi. John Uzo, you can stop sharing your screen now. John Akombi, share your screen quickly. And your time starts now.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm John Akabi. Hi, I'm the CEO of Crystals. Whoa, I'm having a problem with my laptop here. I'm so sorry, my laptop is not responding. Wow.
I'm sure you know your presentation, so just go ahead and.
All right. So Crystals is building a B2B marketplace to connect local manufacturers to resellers globally. So our vision is to be the largest marketplace where quality African goods can be sourced globally. So what's the problem we are trying to solve? The problem of low patronage of local products such as textiles, garments, shoes, leather, agro-allied, and furniture. So we discovered, according to our research, that poor marketing and poor product quality is affecting how consumer perceives local products and is affecting and is causing low patronage. In 2017, unsold inventory amounts to 321 billion naira. In 2019, unsold inventory amounts to 402 billion. And in Q1 2020, unsold inventory amounts to over 420 billion naira. So our solution is to build a B2B marketplace where quality local products can be sourced globally by resellers through awareness and hybrid marketing. Hybrid marketing through traditional and digital marketing. What's our business model? We are focusing on commission-based model as low as 1,000 naira per month, because according to our customer research, we discovered that a lot of businesses are not ready to pay huge because there are a lot of e-commerce solutions in the market and they are not getting value for their money. So we are focusing on commission-based and we are offering a better and a cheaper alternative to existing solutions. We have future business models, which is the premium. We have starter plan and a platinum plan, and we also have white labeling. The market size in Nigeria alone, we have over 30 million MSMEs in the manufacturing value chain. And it has been projected that by 2027, the e-commerce market in Nigeria alone will be over 14 billion naira, $40 billion. And in Africa, it will be over $82 billion. What's our unique selling proposition? We have competitors, we have Jumia, we have Konga, we have Gigi, we have Traderport and Alazo. So for the merchants, because it's a two-sided marketplace, we are offering cheaper alternative, lower commission and logistics fee. So we plan to offer a cheaper logistics fee through NIPOST. And then for our resellers, those are the consumers, we are offering them to pay only for quality, because there is a problem of quality in the Nigerian market. So they only buy quality local products from trusted suppliers. We hope to achieve this by partnering with organizations like SON and NAFDAC. So our marketing.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Time is up. Rebecca, it's over to you.
Okay, hello, John. So I must apologize. I kind of feel sorry for you because you didn't get enough time because of the glitch. But if I'm going to review this, I'm honestly going to say that first thing, you have a lot of work to do on your deck. It's very wordy and quite distracting. At a point, I found myself trying to not look at the screen because listening to you and looking at the screen was a bit confusing. So it's a lot of information, but it needs to be visually appealing. It's very clustered right now with a lot of words that you should take out. That said, again, I think there could be lots of interesting information here. I just wish you didn't have that challenge in the beginning, and maybe you could have had a bit more time to get to the end. But I can feel the passion in your voice, that's all I can say for now. And so keep at it and keep refining and getting better. And next time, prepare better. I know you can prepare, but test your computer, move the deck forward and backwards a few times before you're called upon. Okay, so best luck.
Okay. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, so next up, we'll move on to Abubakar Ghana and Barnabas Ako. Abubakar Ghana first, Barnabas Ako. Badia Loko will be providing feedback for them. Abubakar Ghana and Barnabas Ako, just get your stuff ready. And Badia Loko will be giving them feedback. Are they ready? Abaka Ghana.
Yeah, let me just share my screen quickly.
Okay, do that quickly. Okay, your time starts now.
Right, so my company Outslice is creating an online learning website to help the over 20 million unemployed youth in Nigeria start and grow SME businesses while positioning them for funding. The main problem we're trying to mitigate is the fact that there's a huge drop.
Hello, Abubakar, we can't hear you.
Okay, Abaka, your voice, your sound isn't coming out well. Okay. Okay, start again.
Hello? Can you guys hear me now?
Okay, fine. Continue.
Okay, so the main problem we're trying to mitigate is the fact that there's a huge job deficit in Nigeria. There's currently over 100 million people in Nigeria who are aged between 0 to 35 years old, and 33 million of those youth are considered to be in the labor force, and over 20 million of them are currently unemployed due to a job deficit in the country. So the solution we're trying to provide is essentially SME training from successful industry professionals through online courses on our website. Our solution would show the population the different SME opportunities available locally, and users would be able to network with peers who share the same interests as them, with the ultimate goal of getting them to become self-employed and become job suppliers. So our platform would show users the different opportunities locally available through online courses. And users who pay for our courses would get access to our second product, which is called the workshop, where they would have access to exclusive events, mentors and serious pairs, agencies for spaces and staff, and funding opportunities. So we've been able to successfully partner with an award-winning PR and communications firm called PR Nigeria. And we've been able to also partner with 3 top-performing industry professionals to create our first courses. And we are currently in partnership talks with the African Development Bank and Smedden as a result of a campaign we created that generated over 50 leads of people interested in buying our products. And we found that over 70% of them have told us that their biggest obstacles to starting their businesses is funding. And we hope for this partnership to mitigate that issue for those who go through our courses. And we forecast to grow this community to 300 by the end of December. So in terms of business model, we have 2 revenue streams, one being the courses and the other one being subscriptions for the workshop. For us to reach 1 million ARR, we would need to basically reach 34,000 people quarterly at a 2.5% conversion rate. That would give us $255,000 for the courses. And for the subscriptions, we would need to reach 60,000 people quarterly at a 5% conversion rate. That would give us $300,000 quarterly. And our CAC is around 1 to 3 currently. And regarding the market, our SOM is about 14% of the labor force, which was highlighted earlier. And this amounts to around 3 million people who we can assume to be in the upper echelon of society who would most likely be able to afford our courses. And in regards to competition, we have the likes of Udemy, Skillshare, and Masterclass. And as well, we have a few other local players such as Usteki, Lorewa, and even Google Digital Skills for Africa in our quadrant. But we intend to differentiate by variety as well as quality in the space. So our go-to-market strategy, we intend to grow organically in stage 1 and do.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Buddy.
Oh, okay, all right, thanks. I struggle to hear most of it, but that as it may, what I gathered is that you want to be a training facility platform for SMEs. You want to provide courses for SME and thereby create a community. I think it's a good idea. Obviously, there's a huge market for SMEs to learn. The only place that I think I have an issue with is your business model. Why the model itself is good, but I see in your deck that you hope to charge $300 per course. If you say SME, $300 today, how much is that in Naira? All right, no SME will afford that. So you have something wrong in that context. The whole idea of charging per course or per subscription is not a bad idea, but the rate in which you want to charge is not realized, it's not a realistic rate, considering the target market that you are looking at. It's a good thing to partner, yes, given value to them after the training would make people come back for more training. So being able to create a community where they can exchange data, exchange information, exchange skill sets, and have access to funding would obviously help you in that regard. So just work on your pricing, because I don't think that's realizable. And the second thing I want to talk about is your competition. Don't assume that the way you differentiate is by superlative words like we are going to do better or we have a better solution. That's nothing called like that. You have to differentiate yourself with real value. What is it that you are going to do differently from the people that you are competing with? It is not you that will be the judge. It is the market and the customers that will be the judge. So all the best.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks a lot. So you can stop sharing your screen now. Barnabas Ako. Barnabas. Okay. Share your screen. Your time is going to start shortly. Your time starts now.
I'm waiting. I'll go wait first.
Your time has started.
Okay.
Okay, pause there, Barnabas. I would like to inform all the founders. The reason why I mentioned the names before is so that you get ready. And so once I call the first two, I'll be easy on the first person, but the second person, I expect you to get all your items ready. So I'll let this pass for now, but I won't take it from the next set. So you can start now. Your time is up.
Okay, Barnabas is my name. My company, Zwami Food, helps customers lower their costs and save more on foodstuff purchases. Now, the problem we're solving is that the Nigerian agri-food supply chain is highly fragmented, which increases transaction and inventory costs and makes shopping for foodstuff very stressful and time-consuming. It limits access for smallholder farmers and increases food waste, and also leads to high cost of food for families. Now, what we're doing is that we're unifying the large fragmented source of supply into a single network. We are digitizing the supply chain. That lowers transaction and inventory costs. It also simplifies access to markets and foodstuff. It makes it easier and cheaper to shop for foodstuff and create economic activities and for improved livelihoods. And the market is huge. In 2019, Nigerians spent over 37.42 billion on agri-food. Out of that, over 14.53 was spent on agri-food by urban households. And so we're looking at 40% of that passing through our distribution network by year 5. That is the equivalent of 4.82 billion of food. And this statistics is from Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. Now, what we are building, our product is an online foodstuff marketplace that helps foodstuff vendors to buy inventory directly from farmers, helps customers to save more, give customers a better experience, and give customers a better and a richer life. Now, we have some traction. We have done a pilot during which we had sales of over 1.2 million, and we have signed up 958 farmer suppliers. We also have signed up 25 offline vendors and 3 cooperatives. And we have another 25 online vendors and 50 offline vendors. Now, our business model, we make 10% of the gross merchandise value. That is out of the 4.82 billion that is expected to pass through our distribution network by year 5, which means that by year 5, we'll be making 492 million monthly yearly revenue. Our go-to-market strategies that will first of all identify our customers, their pain points, and we launch the marketplace with seeding strategy. And
thank you, Barnabas. Your time is up. Buddy.
Okay.
Barnabas, your time is up. Buddy.
All right, thanks. Barnabas, let me tell you something, right? If I do not know the market very well, and I do not know much about what's happening in the market, I will be extremely taken away by your presentation. Your presentation is nice, all right? You touched the right points, you say the right words, but the truth is that your challenge is how do you manage logistics and how do you ensure that the goods that that's on your marketplace is available. Those are the areas that I would have loved you to concentrate on. And what is your differentiator? What differentiates you from existing players in the market? But purely looking at your deck and its flow, like I said, I like the flow, and I think your business is viable. You just need to show us that you are aware of the challenges locally and you are prepared for it. Your deck doesn't talk about that. Those are the areas that we have to concentrate on. All the best.
Thank you, Buddy. Thank you for the feedback. So we'll move on to the next. You can stop sharing your screen now, Barnabas. Thank you. Move on to the next two, and Shola will be providing feedback for them. Stephen George and Emeka Ebichidi. Stephen George, you know, I always stick to Stephen George. So share your screen. And every other founder, just get your presentation ready. Stephen George, okay, you're ready for us. Your time starts now.
Hello, good evening. My name is Stephen George. I am the founder of Rework Technologies Limited. We are building Rework Academy, a place that develops highly skilled talent. Now, we are doing this because the youth unemployment in Nigeria is on the rise, over 40% and over 60% across Africa. Meanwhile, there's a massive skill shortage across the tech industry, which is causing this, of course, the growth to slow down. Now, our solution is to develop highly skilled talent through practical and project-based learning and one-on-one mentoring, thereby creating a talent pipeline between skills development and the industry to fill the skill shortage in the industry. Now, how do we do this? We'll do this through practical learning. We'll do this through project-based learning, collaborative learning, and one-on-one mentoring, which is very key, transferring skills on the run. Now, our product, of course, we have products, internal training, which is offline training, on-site training, and this is our website going already live, already working. And then our courses. And then so far, what have we done? So far, we have over 548 persons interested in our program. We've enrolled over 184, and we've graduated over 46 persons, and we have 90% of them successfully placed. We have an inflow of over 84 million naira, an average inflow of about 2.59, of course, looking at just a few months to do the average. Our business model. Currently, we are running classroom-based training, which is at 56,900 per month, is monthly based payment. And then we also have remote training, which is 45,520, which is currently running too. We're about to launch our self-paced training. We're already booked at this price. I'm currently working on launching that. Now, for our growth process in next year, we are looking at having about 500 persons interested, enroll a minimum of 1,000 persons, and graduate 500 persons, and have a better pipeline process for placement, and also to increase our inflow by about 438 million naira. How do we intend to do this? Our timeline to introduce remote-based learning properly by April. Also, of course, our student management portal will be up and running. I skipped that by January. Our self-paced learning will take full effect by September 2023, and our corporate training by 2023, we intend to have 10 sessions for corporate learning. Our market research, Africa is supposed and is working on developing 650 million persons on tech skill, and that amounts to over 130 plus billion in terms of funding, in terms of the value. Our competition, our school, and all of that, they present this particular solution mostly in physical, some of them in remote, some of them just self-paced and all of that. But we intend to incorporate the three areas, the physical, the remote, and the self-paced to achieve this. Go to market. We are going to market with a full stack.
Thank you. Stephen, your time is up. Okay. Shola, you'll be providing feedback.
Sure. Hi, Stephen. Thanks for sharing your presentation here. I think it was good. I enjoyed it. The only thing that I do have some problems with is I think I like the flow of your presentation, but I didn't really hear anything about how you intend to develop your content. Because to me, as you know, when you showed your competitors, the people that you're competing with, most of those are building content to develop people to catch up to the current job. How the job market, technology is constantly evolving. How do you intend to evolve your content with the changes that would occur in technology and also in the global market? So I would have loved to see some strategy of as far as how you continue to create your content and how you continue to make your content more, because as you start your self-paced learning, then the content would need to be relevant for anyone that will be logging in to take your training. How do you prepare them for the job of tomorrow without just getting them ready for what's on the market today? So that's one thing. And of course, I would have loved to see your team as well, to see who will be doing this, who can make this successful. I know you have some traction, but it would be good to see the team that will be running this and scaling this going forward as well. So those two things I kind of wanted to share with you, but overall, I think you did a great job with the presentation.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you for the feedback. So Emeka, you're up next, quickly.
Please stop sharing.
Yeah. Okay, Emeka. So your time starts now.
My company, Zutubai, is developing an integrated delivery solution to help our existing platform, as an add-on, and other delivery e-commerce platforms to deliver products and serve products to their customers. So after building this e-commerce platform, we realized that we couldn't deliver this product, and that really stalled us and we couldn't take off. We realized that end-to-end and point-to-point and last-mile delivery was difficult and expensive. The delivery space is fragmented, and there is so much unreliability in the delivery industry. So we want to use some location maps and other technologies to make delivery easier, faster, and more reliable. And we would first plug in our 500 sellers that are currently on our platform. We're currently speaking with over 100 delivery companies in Abuja alone. The version 2 would integrate these delivery services onto the e-commerce platform that will not just serve our services, but will also serve that of others. This is how it works. There are 3 cases that our solution provides. People who buy products on our platform would select the product. They would eventually come to add it to their carts. And then from here, they will select the delivery companies that will deliver it for them. In use case 2, they will put the product they want to deliver and select the location. And then they will look at the delivery companies that are here and then eventually select that delivery service and get their product delivered. The use case 3 is that people will integrate APIs onto their platform and will be able to finish up their delivery. If we continue just with the e-commerce platform, in the next 3 months or 1 year, we'll probably just increase to 1,000 sellers and maybe 2,000 transactions, which is still not efficient. But by the time we add on this delivery service, look at it. In the next 12 months, we would have hit 280,000 transactions and 435,000 deliveries. And here is where it makes more sense. We would have made $20 million from a 72 average revenue per user using these 3 models, which includes both subscription and commission. And then for the delivery part, we would have also made $74.4 million at a $40 per average revenue per user using this basic, premium, and ultimate
models. And one will do this, the e-commerce will bring service to the delivery will bring service to the e-commerce, and our customer acquisition costs will drop, and through affiliate marketing, we'll be able to increase our entry points. This is an $810 billion market for the e-commerce, but in Nigeria this year, it was 6.62 billion. I want to see if we can take $1.5 billion part of that share. And in the delivery sector, in Nigeria, it's $69 billion, and want to take a $13 billion share out of it. We are different because we're integrating all delivery companies to make delivery easier. And one of the things that you see is that I'm a software developer with over 7 years of coding experience, and with a managing director, web developer, and logistic company.
Thank you, Emeka. Okay, Shola, feedback.
Emeka, I like your presentation. I think it was really good. I think with me being into last mile as well, I mean, I see the problem with last mile and how your solution here can solve the problem that last mile has. The only problem I have with yours is that, well, it's not a problem, it's just something for you to consider, is that by the time you use those big delivery companies like FedEx and UPS, how do you intend to keep costs down? Because delivery costs could be more expensive than the actual product itself at the end of the day. The reason they use last mile is so that all the liability can go on the last mile company. You can sign a long-term contract with them and keep the cost lower. So just think about that. I think that's one thing that you probably need to think about. But you certainly have a solid business model here. And I think, I wish you all the best for sure. But I think you should just think about how to keep costs low enough to get people to, to make it affordable for people.
Okay, thank you. You can stop sharing your screen now. Okay, so Lawrence Atta and the only lady in the, I think the only lady in this call. Yeah, the only lady. Lawrence Atta and Tombiri, get ready. Ibrahim Bashir will be providing feedback. Lawrence Atta and Tombiri, Ibrahim Bashir will be providing feedback. Your time starts now.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, can you confirm that you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on. Your time has already.
Okay, so my name is Lawrence Atta, and I'm a co-founder at Lotus for Technologies, and we are creating Paylidate. Paylidate is an escrow payment service for social commerce. And the problem that led to the creation of this solution is the fact that we have noticed, or we have actually experienced the loss of money or online sales fraud, or even poor trade disputes, even with existing escrow services. And so we decided to go into the market and create a solution that actually create something that actually provides a solution to these problems. And our solutions actually are a more efficient escrow payment service that is going to include or incorporate dispute management process, and then a transparent fulfillment process. And this fulfillment process is more like our edge above every other escrow service. And I'm going to explain that in a bit. So, so for our traction so far, we have been able to get over 200 signed up users, and we have completed over 150 transactions. And in building this, we have been able to partner with Providus Bank, with a bank, and then Flutterwave. And one of the processes in this partnership is that we are supposed to get a lender's license or a cooperative license. We're actually working on this right now to make sure that we are providing the services as effectively as possible. And for our business model, we're going to be charging escrow fees. We're going to be getting revenues from escrow fees, and then in the long run, we want to be able to provide soft loans to businesses. And how are we going to do this? So from every transaction, there's a particular portion of that fee, the fee that we collect from every user. We're going to push it back to them, to their account, and then that amount that we're pushing back to their account is actually providing like a bucket or a space where we can give them loan future empower their services to do whatever they want to do. And then we can earn from those soft loans also. And we are looking at a market of over 8.5 billion. That is for the retail and e-commerce market. We are hoping to go fully into the social and digital payment in the nearest future. But for now, we are going to be powering just the retail and the e-commerce market. Our main edge in above our competitors is the fulfillment.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you, Lawrence. Your time is up.
Okay.
Feedback.
Hi, Lawrence. How are you doing, Lawrence? Lawrence,
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
How are you feeling? I hear in your voice that you're very, very nervous and you're shaky. Your voice is quite shaky.
Yes, actually, I am very nervous and shaky.
Okay, so the first thing first, I think you've done an amazing thing, even coming on stage in Zoom to do this. So first things first, you need to congratulate yourself on getting here. And number two, I know it's tough. So one of the things I'll recommend is do some breathing exercises or try and motivate yourself, because what happens is that we are learning from you and not, it's usually the case. And that is why we invest in businesses from an investor's point of view. So be confident. I know it's difficult, but as long as you practice more and more and always practice, it will help. So first of all, well done. Now I'm going to provide you some feedback for your deck and your presentation. I think it will help. Number one, I think it's a great idea in terms of escrows. There is a big problem. I would have loved to see it from a pragmatic perspective in terms of maybe talking about the problem a little more in practical or realistic terms that we can relate with. Maybe there are people that have these escrow problems. How much money is lost in bad sales and things like that? You spent a little too much time talking about the solution. You spent more than 60 seconds on the business model. This is a 3-minute pitch. So you need to look at it. I also looked closely at your traction. You've said you've made 150 sales in between October and now, October 2021 and now. From an investor's perspective, that may be low. So you may want to have and tell the story clearly why you've reached that level. I also would have loved to know more about your team, among others. So that for me is the feedback that I've got for you. I think you're onto something, but you still clearly need to define it, as well as probably narrow down in terms of your market focus. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Bashir Ibrahim. Tombiri, you're up next. Your time starts now.
Okay, my company, Present, is developing a digital solution called Renew to upskill Africa in order to bridge the industry and academia gap. Africa alone has over 250 million people, and from the World Economic Forum, that is estimated to rise about 40% come 2050. Now, the striking thing about these numbers is that Africa will be at a time unleashing a considerable human capital at a time when the rest of the world is actually getting older. But what we actually do with this resource is what will determine if we are to achieve the prosperity we seek or not. So we therefore need to adopt future-ready strategies that can help us achieve that. One other thing that we might look at is that the current training system cannot adequately support the training needs at the scale and at the speed that is desired. Now, despite this great opportunity that we have, it's no longer news that there is actually a shortage of high-quality collaboration between the academia and the industry, and this has diffused itself into a multi-faced monster that affects different sectors of the economy. Now, we hope to bring, beginning from our domain, develop a scalable ecosystem that will allow both the industry and the academia to interact, learn, and solve problems together. Now, but first of all, I would like to introduce you to the customer groups that we're looking at. So for companies who are seeking to crowd solve problems, or people who are doing fantastic researches, mainly for the, not just for the purpose of ticking the box of doing a research and being called a professor, but looking to solve typical industry problems, or even young people who have graduated only to realize that the skill they got upon graduation does not suffice them to be able to work in the company, or a government parastatal who is looking to showcase the efforts they are using to fulfill their mandates. Imagine if this group of people are to be able to come onto a platform like Renew. They can identify a community of common interest, share passion, interact, learn, and solve problems together. Now, this is coming, our traction actually dates from years back, and we're coming from a place of having delivered B2B and B2C training. And when we saw that and identified, and that happened within the university and the companies, we identified that there was a gap. And we attempted to fill it by actually giving industry supervisors to supervise these final year project students. But we saw that that was not scalable. And so we thought scaling and decided to develop a digital platform. Now, we currently have partnerships with about 3 universities now and hoping to grow that and actively driving triple helix membership, triple helix inauguration in Nigeria. We're currently at the beta testing stage of the platform, and we hope to do a pilot test come January 2023. Our go-to-market strategy is really very simple. We want to move our existing communities onto the platform and then grow the brand awareness and also hopefully boost our subscription rate by creating product bundles and personalized upscale selling. Our business model is actually the freemium model, which will start free to everybody and hope to upscale. And what we do.
Thank you, Tomberry. 3 minutes over. Bashir, right?
Great. Hi, Tomberry. How are you? Okay, you need to unmute yourself now. So, how are you feeling?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, quick question. Did you write a script for this deck, for this presentation, or you were just reading from your mind, or what was happening?
I was speaking from everywhere, but what I had practiced, what I remembered, and speaking everywhere.
So, yeah, you were talking a lot, right? And that was like, I zoned out at a point in time. So for example, your first slide, I think there was a mistake there, because you said the Africa's population is 250 million, it's 1.2. And so you may need to check cross-check your deck again in terms of slide 1 in particular. Is it the population you're talking about, or the people that require this kind of education? The second thing was that you spent a lot of time on your traction page, and I can see the traction from 2019 to date, but there's too much text on that slide. Now, the whole idea for presentations or like this is not to spend too much time explaining, right? First of all, investors have either met or seen other startups like you, right? They've either invested in similar startups like you, so they know the market, right? So what you are meant to do is to show what is unique about your product, right? And I liked the way you started with the universities, the 3 deals that you've signed with the universities. For me, I will have focused on that and show the opportunity. If I can sign 3 deals with universities in Nigeria, we can grow to 50 universities, both public and private sector, and you can build around those numbers and show what the possible traction and growth opportunities are there. Then what makes you unique? You say you want to expand to different parts of Africa. That means that there are language implications for that. French in West Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. You're going to look at other localization of languages, things like that. Like I said, the whole idea is to get the whole idea of you pitching, and a 3-minute pitch is not to explain everything, but is to get the key points, look at each slide and say, what do you want? What are the 3 things that you want an investor to remember on your deck, so that you can secure a meeting where you have a bigger conversation? Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. So
yeah,
up next, Miracle Nebo and Oluwadara Binle. Miracle Nebo and Oluwadara Binle. Is Miracle Nebo in the room tonight? Catherine, is he in the room tonight? I don't see him. He's not in, right? Okay, so we'll make it Oluwadara Binle and Afolabi Oguntuashe. Oluwadara Binle and Afolabi Oguntuashe. Daniel Steves will take the feedback.
Hey, everyone.
Okay, your time starts now.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ben Oluwadara. I am a co-founder of SMS Tech. My co-founding team and my partner is here, Ogutuashe Ofolabi. SMS Protect is a SaaS mobile application to mitigate credit loss and asset loss due to smishing attacks. Our mission statement is to take back control of data and information to the owners. The problem we noticed that there's been an increase of loss of assets, financial records, personal records due to the increase of smishing, successful smishing attacks. Statistics show that from 2012 to 2016, there was a total of 720,000 successful smishing attacks. And in the last year, there's been a total of 434 million successful smishing attacks. More data shows that 85% of phishing attacks on mobile phones do not involve emails. And a lot of Nigerians right now use their phone for their credit information and to store their credit information. My company, SMS Protect, is building a SaaS mobile application that can scan this SMS, check the context of the SMS, check any links in the SMS, and alert the user of any fraudulent SMS. SMS, it has features such as a well-developed learning model to improve the accuracy and performance of the application. This deep learning model checks the context of the message and checks for any smishing pattern. We also have a URL checker that checks the links in the SMS to make sure they are safe. This is a prototype for the mobile application we built, and we're able to detect some smishing attacks and non-smishing attacks. The market size for SMS, the market size is quite large, but we plan to focus on 3.94 billion addressable sites for the next 18 months. We plan to use a premium and gold, where premium has a limited amount of 10 scans and gold has an unlimited amount of scans per month. For our competitive landscape, SMS Protect, we differentiate ourselves from our competitors by focusing on analyzing the SMS that comes in to make sure that even the links in those SMS are not harmful and not focusing on the numbers like our competitor Truecaller does. Our go-to-market strategy is to create a marketing campaign for mass awareness, partner with existing social engineering awareness committees, and also partner with platforms like telcos, banks, and smartphone companies. We plan to become a full-fledged cybersecurity platform in 2024 and also have data recovery and insurance in 2025. My team has a total of 12 years experience in data science, backend development, and software development. I also have an advisor with over 20 years in startup building. We are asking for $150,000 to kickstart our marketing campaign and maintain the scale of our infrastructure for large number of requests. Thank you.
Okay. I go ahead, Segun.
Yeah, you're up next, Daniel.
Okay, Gavinley, I guess the first thing I have to say is congratulations. You're the first person who got through his entire slide deck. You speak with confidence about what you're doing. I would say that, you know, when you're looking at the market scope, the spaces of the market, I think you probably need to drill a little bit of more information into this. A fair bit of talking at high speed, but I know that the pressure we're giving everybody with a 3-minute pitch this is pretty consistent across the board. You wouldn't, a typical investor wouldn't do in most cases, speed dating like this. So I have a slight disagreement with Ibrahim on an earlier comment that he made. He's entitled to his opinion completely, but so am I. And the thing we have to remember is that the slides go to them. So don't read your slides. right? Most of what you did was read through everything that's there. I'm going to have the deck. I've got the images. I've got my eyes on my head reading what's there. I want you to give me something so that I'm not just following my eyes along with the words that you're reading, right? So if I can look back at the deck later to get a little bit more elaborate detail. I have this rule about like 25 words on a slide, 25 point font size, and I think it's like 15 slides maximum, and you fit into all of that. The problem that I have, though, is your competition, I think, is really not even close to enough of a look at what the competitors are. There's a lot more that are out there. You picked one like Truecaller, which is an easy free app and paid app on the phone. But I think a little more indication of market research and why I would pick you rather than somebody else who's already a strong player in the market. And the other element of competition I think you have to consider is the pressure under the mobile service providers themselves from the various government institutions in the different countries. I'm trying to remember the name of the one in Nigeria. I've been in the building. I can't remember their initials. They are pressurizing the service providers to do this. So if they come out with a model that delivers these types of capabilities, like I used to use Truecaller. I moved to Switzerland, and the capabilities that I have here built in to my service provider compared to Germany means I stopped using Truecaller. So I think a little bit more of your USPs and your differentiator would be a strong way to put yourself forward to not have people asking the questions that I was just asking. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Okay.
Can I jump on it again? Just one statement.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
You could put a comment.
Just a comment. Also, just on your team, I've not seen someone with a background in cybersecurity. I think you guys need to add that. That's just it.
Okay. Thank you, Mahmoud. Okay, so next, Afolabi Oguntuashe.
So good afternoon. There are now a co-founding team. So yes, what's called pitch on behalf of SMS Protect.
Hang on there, Lady A.
Only one of them can pitch.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Okay, so then I'll have to give the next person enough time to put his deck up. So, Livingstone. Daniel, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm always ready.
I mean, Daniel Livingstone, the founder, not Daniel Steve, the mentor.
That's right. He is another Daniel.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
So you're ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, share your screen. Okay, so your time starts now.
My name is Daniel Livingstone, and my company Wizard AI is equipping over 300 million business owners to overcome the problem of creative block and market scaling using AI automation. The problem we're trying to solve is the problem of creating interesting and engaging content to scale up businesses. One of the problems is creative block, writer's block, and business visibility. Over 290 million business owners and copywriters face the problem of creative block, writer's block, and business visibility because they can't get past staring at a blank page. And even the businesses that can that manage to create those content, they don't have enough visibility on Google. The solution we're offering is an AI-powered automated text, image, and music content generation. This will enable businesses to automate social media posts, automate the production of text content, and also image content creation. This is expected to transform and quickly enable businesses to create content for their businesses across different social media platforms. The competitive advantage that we have is that we are automating social media posts, and the ownership of of the assets that are generated within the system belongs to the user. So we are providing a way for users to tokenize these assets and make them available for sale on the public internet. Our primary market also gives us a competitive advantage because we are catering to small business owners all over the world. The product we currently have a product, and we provide like the best platform to grow businesses using AI. This product is valuable to business owners and copywriters for production of multiple social media content. We also offer a simple step to creation product that helps businesses to simply create content using our product. Traction. In September, we were able to get our license acquisition. October, we had our preferred landing page, and November, we had our product design done. December, we are planning to do to get our complete design prototype, do a pre-launch campaign, and engage over 500 community members who will pre-sell our offer to at a discount. Business model, we are giving 10 days free trial and $17 for 20,000 words per month for classic. Business will go for $40 per month for 50,000 words initially. Note, users can increase their word count per month, which will now mean that we will increase the monthly charges. By 2023, we're expecting a revenue projection.
Thank you. Your time is up. So Daniel.
Okay, you almost got to the end. Good try. A couple of quick points I'm going to make for you and for everybody. Spell check, right? If an investor's looking at your deck, he's going to think, well, if you can't take the time to check all of your spelling 100%, maybe you can't take the time to manage my money 100%. And the same thing goes for the consistency of fonts. You had one page, and these are nitpicky things, but they're things that you guys are meant to learn as you go forward. Clearly, your deck was a little bit long, with maybe too much description of a couple of things at the beginning. One thing you didn't mention, although I could read it on the slide, was that you are using the existing high-end AI tools, and you're creating a method that allows your clients to use them more easily, right? So that's also quite compelling, because this way the investor isn't thinking that he has to invest in creating new AI tools, unless you're also planning on doing that, in which case you should mention that somewhere along the way in a roadmap. Again, we didn't get to see a lot of the slides that are up here right now. One more suggestion I'll make to you and to all of the others is that a pause is your friend, right? You make a point, and just because you've got 3 minutes, that doesn't mean you should be speaking without a breath for 3 minutes. And if you don't have pauses, it doesn't allow us the chance to digest some of what you've said. And when you do pause, it stops you from saying right? Because you're putting a pause in, you're allowing yourself to connect your own thoughts as well. I'm not talking a long pause. I'm talking enough to take a breath, enough to collect yourself and move to the next point. So that means you need to be a little bit more concise in what you're talking about. If we think about this, 3 minutes is 180 seconds. 18 slides means 10 seconds per slide. I've just spoken for about probably more than the 2 minutes that Sagan lets me. So as I said in the comments, practice again, record yourself, record your screen and your presentation, and watch it and listen to it again, and then practice again. One of the guys I was in a mentoring session earlier today actually played me back what I'm assuming was one of his own practice sessions, because he was trying to get it into that 3-minute mark. He didn't quite make it tonight. But what you're offering is very interesting. The other thing I would say, though, is when you're talking about social media, people don't like bots. They like personalization. So you need to build into the pitch the fact that this is not, assuming that I'm right here, from the talk we had a few weeks ago, this is not a bot approach. And you're going to enable and train your users to use these tools in such a way that it comes across as genuine, rather than manufactured. So I think that that's an important point to make. And I think for you and for everybody else, half as many slides if you're in a 3-minute time frame, right? So you need to pick what goes on those slides, or maybe you have twice as many slides as I've just said. You've got the full 18 or 20, but you don't necessarily address each and every one of them. And at the very end or at the very beginning, you make it clear that I will give you this deck afterwards. So that means I know as a listener, I don't have to take notes. I don't have to digest everything that you're telling me at once. And if you do skip over a slide, or you tell me the other slides are at the back of the deck, then I'll be comfortable knowing the knowledge is coming my way. Thanks.
Thank you, Daniel. So we're moving on to the second group of founders. Mentors, you would have to help me here. I have some mentors missing. So I'll need to realign. So some of you might be doing, all of the mentors here might be doing more work for this group of people. But for now, I still have Mahmoud in the house, and Mahmoud will be taking the next two founders, Babatunde Balogun and Ose Samuel. Babatunde Balogun and Ose Samuel. Get ready. Babatunde Balogun, Ose Samuel. Mahmoud Mustafa will be taking their feedback. Babatunde. Babatunde Balogun.
Let's move on to the next person.
Okay, so, okay, Ose Samuel. Ose Samuel. Okay, so your time starts now. Ose, okay. Okay, so you're still muted. So your time starts now.
My company is Mirados. I'm the CEO. Now, we are a healthcare company that leverage on existing responsive healthcare providers and other key players in the healthcare to provide faster response to treatment services for patients using an easy to navigate platform that facilitates service visitation among medical practitioners and patients on the same ground. Our focus is centered on eliminating delay and emerge consequences to assess medical needs confronting patients. Our target market exists among the 70% healthcare private firms that provide healthcare services to patients with a 3 simple solution step that evolve into great 8 A's values to our revenue model is commission based with over 200 plus patients interested in our solution, and as well over 20 plus medical practitioners ready to be our first partners. Currently, we are looking for 750K pre-seed funding to launch our idea. Problem we actually carried out a research, and we discovered that about 60% of our patients complain about waiting time to see doctors, while 10% of them don't know where to access medical services, while 15% of these patients complains about quality treatment. Our solution actually is to save time by allowing patients to carry out 80% of their admin duties at their convenience, matching patients automatically to facilities of choice, then providing patients with quality facilities. Our product is in 3 simple steps. We identify patient problem. We recommend and allow real-time facilities and doctors, and allow the patient to choose. then patient went on payment, and then visit the facilities. Our product value to patient is in grade 8. Now, one of them is access to bulk medical facilities, fast access to consult and treatment service, quality treatment, patient journey map, affordable healthcare, increased patient confidence level, nowhere, and be a member of a healthier community. Traction. We are a startup. We've not gotten over any traction yet, but over 200 patients have shown interest in our solution, and over 20 plus medical facilities and doctors are ready to be our first partners. Our business model. Currently, we are using commission-based model by deducting 20% on commission of every consultation charge, service charge a patient is buying, and subsequently after 6 months,
Thank you. Thank you. Your time is up. Mahmoud.
Okay. One, the field you're about to work in is one of the biggest challenges we have across the African continent. But best believe, in as much as I have a hidden bias towards this field, what you presented to me, it's not something I truly understand. The healthcare sector is so huge, and your niche, if I understand, is trying to have an electronic medical record that would enhance medical experience for patients across that market. That's how I summarize it from what I've seen so far. But what I'm gonna advise you is go review it again, look at the entire market, and understand the particular place that you fit, like you feel like you have the ability to give or make a dent of impact. And doing that, what does that affect the other sectors of the healthcare system positively? That's what I want you to check. And I also understood you made reference to one of your revenue generation models or so, like after 500K, then you want to put advert. I don't know how you intend to do advert. Are you advertising the medical, are you selling the patient's data, or are you advertising the doctors to the patients, which also have to do with ethical consideration? So I'd like you to review it. One, the market segment is an amazing one, but you need to clarify what you truly want to do in that market. That's it for now.
Shekun, you're muted.
Somtochukwu. So it looks like we have some mentors, some founders not around. So I think the mentors we have will probably do. Then we'll really focus on the questions and the question and the QA session. So Somto, are you ready? Also, you can stop sharing your screen. Somto. Okay.
Okay. My name is Somtochukwu Ilo. I'm the co-founder of Small Concept. Small is an quick commerce store focused on grocery retailing. This is a platform that allows consumers buy groceries and daily essentials conveniently from use of their mobile device and have their orders delivered to them within 25 minutes. The problem we're solving is the hassle involved with grocery shopping, like traffic jam, in Abuja, in Nigeria, traffic jam of getting to the supermarkets, congestion in the supermarkets, checkout points, fatigue and stress. People get tired after a long day at work or school, and they find it difficult to navigate to the supermarkets. maybe because they are tired. And then, when you get to these big hyper supermarkets, product search, looking for products on the massive packed shelves of the supermarkets. The solution we are offering is a digital online store that allows customers to order for their daily essentials and groceries from their comfort zone and get their deliveries at their doorstep in less than 25 minutes. The market we are playing in since the pandemic after COVID-19, Nigeria total global retail sales rebounds back to $108 billion after 7-year decline in 2021, with grocery retail segments generating about 45.7 billion in 2020 and predicted to generate 62.5 billion by end of 2025. Our target market, of course, is any individual with internet access, individual consumers that seek for convenience, corporate organizations, household with children. Our business model typically small runs an inventory model where we stock all our products, all our fast-moving consumer goods in our dark stores, in 3 of our dark stores in Abuja. We control the complete value chain, which means when a customer places an order, from the order processing to the last mile delivery, we control all. We offer the delivery services with our fleet of delivery bikes. The revenue model, of course, profit from sales of these products, and then service charge from delivery. Our competition in Abuja currently, Mano, Jumia, and the regular supermarkets. Competitive advantage is because of the model we offer, the inventory model. We have our goods stocks in our dark stores in Abuja, like I said, so we control the whole value chain. With our delivery fleets, this enables us to fulfill customers' order within 25 minutes. Also, we are first in markets in Abuja. Our competitors are still in their pilot stages for now. The team, this is my team, me, the co-founder, my partner, the COO.
Okay, your time is up. So Mahmoud, feast on that also.
Yeah, so thank you for taking your time to want to bring to the world the most impossible work of life. I don't know how far you understand logistics or more, but it's unrealistic to get a delivery in 25 minutes. I don't know which one, even in the most advanced world where fulfillment centers are literally in almost every neighborhood or zip codes that are closer, it is almost unrealistic to deliver within 25 minutes. Now, I might understand maybe your inventory are just subjected based on what you have. And that means that if you are located in a place like Abuja, that means you need to be in every area of that city. You already have your inventory and everything ready. And by the time the person is even thinking about the product, already your packaging it is on this way to the house. If you don't have that, then it's unrealistic to say in 25 minutes, someone could order something, the payment get processed, the person in the warehouse put it in, the Okada guy take the thing, run to the house, knock to the house and deliver it. It's okay to dream, but there are steps to dreaming. You can start small. Literally, people are also patient more even in today's world. What they need is the guarantee of service and delivery. And if it's gonna take them 24 hours, but it guarantees that this product they're searching for, they'll get it, then it's there. But from what you said and what I looked at your deck, there's like, it's not adding up, right? And I also wanted to see if you had a showcase of how your technology works. Like realistically, over the last 5 orders that we have tried, we've been able to fulfill this at this minute from Gwarimpa to Jabi, from Jabi to Airport Road, from Airport Road to this. And this is the time it took us and the rest. This is the mileage it took. This is how much it cost us and more. and I don't have that. So what you are telling me right now is just like something I can comprehend. And as such, I would love for you to go look at your entire innovation again. And even if you want to pitch this, let me see those numbers in action. And from there, I could even give you feedback on, okay, how much does it even cost you to do this same operation? I can get you something faster, but it's more expensive. So what is your cost of customer acquisition, the lifetime value of the customer? What is the cost of delivery? And how do you make money within being fast? Fast break things, and breaking things entails more money, insurance, and more. So go check that again, and hopefully in the nearest future, you could get it right. Thank you.
I'm just going to jump in real quickly, Segun, with the point, if you don't mind. Just for the clarification of my colleague Mahmoud. This model, which sounds unusual, perhaps, I think we got some echoing going on here. This is a massive business structure that has been building in Europe, in Germany, in Switzerland, in Turkey, and in England. And everybody said exactly what you said at the beginning. We know Nigerian traffic has different issues. Maybe he does need to fine-tune the timing a little bit, but what they do, the only reason I'm adding this extra information is for the benefit of all of us to know that when he talks about dark stores, he is talking about multiple locations in multiple areas to deliver to part of the issue that you were discussing. And on his benefit, I'll say the fact that I know that he's got a very workable business model from a company that he's been talking to in Turkey that didn't come up in this pitch, of course, but it might be useful if he says he's building it on existing successful company business models that he's partnered with. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. So we move. You can stop sharing your screen now. So Kwame and Kende, you're up next, and Faiz Bashir. Faiz, you'll be giving you feedback. Kwame and Kende. Somto, you can stop sharing your screen if are you still the one sharing? Okay.
Please, Can you see me?
Okay.
Do you see me yet?
Yes. Kwame.
Okay, so I can. Yes.
Yes, your time starts now.
Okay. So my name is Kwame Okoni, and my company, Igma Integral, is developing higher service and online marketplace where skilled service providers network to find clients that want to hire their services. The problem we found was on the online service delivery, we could see service failure, lack of confidentiality and security, as well as many other management difficulties, which have now snowballed into other effects such as the economy, informalization, and then difficulty in background checking. Our solution is to help users make complicated hiring choices by enlightening them on service-related complexities. How are we going to do that? By brand development of the service providers and also putting them in a secure marketplace where they can network. On our app, we say a client posts a job with a description, and the service provider with the required skill bids for the job, and the client hires the job. Client hires the service provider, and when the job is done, the service provider marks complete and is paid for his job. In 2019, we got a pre-seed funding grant from the Tony Elumelu Foundation, and that's helped us to develop our first MVP, within which time we have not moved. I know it's going to raise a little red flag of what have you been doing within this time? Well, we know that our solution is solid. So we didn't want to launch in too fast so we don't give out our secret sauce. So we're looking forward to producing or putting up a landing page next year and developing a beta version of our application by 2024, I'm sorry. And if we get the funding we need and the right push, we are going to get up to 100 subscribers by 2029. Our revenue model is based on subscription. We have divided our customer base into two, where we have the service providers and we also have the clients who are ready to hire the service providers. So it's strictly on a subscription-based model where people subscribe from annually and depending on how you want to use the service. Well, the Nigerian employment market is put at 23 million, which are the people at the ages of 25 to 34. And we have been able to divide these people into skilled service providers and professional service providers. The total market that labor force can give.
Thank you, Kwame. Your 3 minutes, it's gone. Thank you. Okay. So Faiz.
Okay. Hello, Kwame. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just go on.
Okay. Yeah, so I think hire service is a viable business. You know, for me, in terms of similar services that exist globally, but I'm still waiting for the business that will crack that in Nigeria. I believe it has a potential, and the issues that I believe are challenges here is trust issues. What's your plan and strategy of your KYC? How do you intend to to be able to verify those service providers and provide that trust and confidence for customers to really patronize this. The issues here, even when it's one-on-one, physical, I know there are a lot of negative perception where you hire someone and you don't really get quality job and so on, let alone online. So I think that's a very major factor that you need to sort out. And then I think you also caught yourself, the red flag you raised. I'm still amazed that you were able to get some funding in 2019, and you are still saying that you are launching a landing page next year or so. I can't imagine why this is taking you more than a week since you got that funding to launch a landing page for MVP to verify that people really need this service, and so on. So you have moving fast is really important. So I don't know what secret sauce you are trying to hide. This is not, I don't think it's a new idea. So you don't need even a product to validate this. Like you said, you simply need a landing page and a phone number, and maybe a couple of your contacts that provide this kind of services. And when people request for such, you link them up and so on and validate. By now, since 2019, I should have been more impressed if you tell me you have had at least 100 successful transactions, and this is growing. So I think you really need to be serious if you want to go into this business. Like I said, I believe in the market, but I'm yet to see, a business that will solve the challenges in this Nigeria and tap on this market. But you have to buckle up. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Faiz. Okay, so Kende Bissoya, you're up next. And then the last two founders, Christian Jeremiah and Babatunde Balogun, will be ready. Emmanuel Oluwatosin will take your feedback. But now we
can you hear me? I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay, share your screen quickly.
1 second.
Okay. So your time starts
founder
now.
12G. I'm Kehinde Obisa, founder 12G. The problem we are trying to solve is to connect young entrepreneurs with investors and mentors, right? And then the solution is simple savings, investment, mentoring, planning, learning, and execution process. Then comes our product trickles, which we are planning a social media platform to help young entrepreneurs connect with mentors and investors to help them tackle the issues creating business startups. All right. Our triathlon initial market with we got an 80% market as for if you have reached it now. Carry wide, link, and ensure. So are some of and also our system, and of course our go-to-market strategy is developing our web and mobile app. The team, myself, Kehinde Obisa, and my co-founder, Bless Honorary, who started person on our team. Shimbi James is our chief product designer. Our hope is to achieve, our hope in FI is to achieve a market fit product in this during the. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello,
I don't know if I
Kehinde.
can jump in. If I can jump in. This is Manuel.
Okay, Manuel, hi.
Yeah.
FaZe will be taking this one.
Okay.
Okay, so Kehinde, you were kind of breaking, but if I get you correctly, you are trying to create a solution that will connect entrepreneurs and investors. But your presentation, I think, really lacked a lot of concrete information. I still can't really understand. I didn't really understand your business model. I don't fully understand the value you're trying to bring to the entrepreneurs or investors, right? It seems like you focused more on you want to build an app, but for this market, I think you're trying to, I would say, compete with Founder Institute, for example. So that reputation is very important. I don't really see how you plan to create that so that entrepreneurs or investors would have confidence or trust in whatever network you are trying to build. I'm also not sure if you've done your research very well. I saw on the list of your competitors, companies like LinkedIn, Paystack, and so on. So I'm still trying to understand how are they, competitors, or probably you haven't really segmented your market. You are thinking too broadly. That, for example, maybe entrepreneurs will meet investors on LinkedIn and so on. So it's kind of too broad. I really think there's still a lot of work that you need to do, or probably you were not able to present or communicate, what you are trying to do.
Okay, thank you, Faiz. So we'll move on to the last two founders for tonight, and that would be Christian Jeremiah and Babatunde Balogun. Oh, Christian Jeremiah, sorry. Christian is a co-founder. Yeah. Okay, so Babatunde Balogun and Emmanuel Watoso will be taking the feedback. Babatunde Balogun, Emmanuel will be taking the feedback. And your time starts now.
Okay. Good day, founders. My company, Tech Limited, is building data and research software products to help students, researchers, and organizations carry out their research works with an automated system to handle all research works remotely at a very low cost. So we have the issues of high cost and low funding in African markets, and we also have the issue of manual data collection, which actually leads to poor data quality. So our solution is to actually create an automated system, a software product that will actually reduce the cost and the long timeliness, the time lapse, and a proper data documentation software. So we came up with our MVP, which has to do with research gains. So with research gains, we are trying to solve the issue of human research, because research is a very wide area. So we decided to start with solving the issues of human research, which has to do with creating forms. Research gains, it's an automated system that helps you to create your survey, target those you want them to fill your surveys from home remotely, and get responses in few minutes. So our total available market is $822.5 billion, and the revenue we plan to generate in the next 5 years is $30 million. We are actually adopting the platform as a service model. So on our platform, you can actually target your respondents, and with respect to the number of questions, just for as low as $0.5. So we've been able to get the company registered, the proof of concept done, and our pre-marketing strategies. We are ought to have launched, but due to the fact that I'm in Founder Institute, I had to make some additions. So our strengths are to target the demographic data. We are actually helping people target demographic data of people from home. You don't have to stress yourself traveling about just to carry out your research works. We already have our projected KPIs, which we plan to work with in the next 5 years. Our computer analysis, I've actually had a proper computer analysis of over 50 companies, and we've discussed with over 10 local companies in Nigeria, and they agreed to go into partnership with us to the use of our platform. So we are seeking for the fund of $600,000 for a 22.5% stake. But presently, all we need is just a $90,000. Our co-founder, I'm the founder, and these are my team members.
Your time is up. You know, Balogun, I was getting happy that you'll be the second person to stick within the 3 minutes time, but it didn't happen. Okay, Oluwatosin, Ima.
Yeah.
You can
So
provide
thanks,
feedback.
Balogun, for this. It's so interesting that you talk about conducting research. So how do you want to get the respondents? I can't see anything on the slide that talks about how you get respondents. Then two, are you saying there is no local competitors in Nigeria? I don't know if you can answer those two quickly.
It doesn't need to give you feedback. I mean, it could.
Okay, so I can see those two on the slides. Then three, I used to run a service similar to this in Nigeria called Gejama, and I can tell you that the adoption is very it's very tough to get companies to actually use your platform, especially when it comes to data privacy, then the authenticity of people that are going to respond to the survey. Then the fourth thing is, I don't see how you intend to compensate the respondents of the survey, because as you and I probably know, people don't respond to something unless there is a giveaway or a gift or something for them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can say that in. Then for me, I need to see maybe a 90-day plan. Yeah, it's good to mention that you want to generate this amount of money in 5 years, but how do you want to generate those? How do you want to get to those numbers? What number of customers do you need to actually acquire?
Can I just make a sentence or two?
Babatunde, no need for a sentence. Don't worry.
Yeah. So just note.
Take his comments. Take his comments, and if
you can reach out to me.
Yeah.
You can reach out to me. I used to run a business in this line in Nigeria, so maybe I might be able to provide one or two guidance. Thank you.
Thank you, mentors. Thank you, founders. So we'll move on to the next session, which is the Q&A. Now, I'll have to draw some line with the Q&A. Now, mentors are always available for you for office hours. So don't take this as a time to, you can stop sharing your screen, Babatunde. You can stop sharing your screen now. So don't take this as an opportunity to go on and on and on and on and on and on. So you have some issues, you have some things you want to clarify with some of the comments or some of those things, you can ask questions now. You could signify by raising your hands. We have about 30 minutes more for this. I think we all need to give ourselves a round of applause. We manage time properly. So the mentors are available to answer your questions if you have any.
While we wait for somebody to put their hand up, I'm going to answer a question.
Okay,
that
please
they
do.
haven't asked. I've said this in every one of the 30 or 40 mentoring sessions that I've been having with people. Look at the business model canvas. Download this, do a Google search, and make certain that you can fill in all of those blocks and answer those questions. And when you do, I've spent a lot of time with investors in the years, right? Outside of Nigeria, as well as some inside. Every single one of them doesn't care that it's a $5 billion, $50 billion, $500 billion market. None of them believe that you're going to generate $5 million next week or next year or the year after, right? What they want to know is, what is the problem? What is the solution? What is the revenue stream, and how are you going to acquire the people that generate that revenue stream? I don't care about customer acquisition costs at this point. I care about how are you going to acquire those customers, right? Like I talked to somebody today and I suggested that part of their mechanism might be the ones that they have become affiliates. One of the presenters tonight has a method where he is actually going to go to third parties and deliver more business to them because of one of the pillars of his business, right? Those people are going to add to the revenue stream of the businesses that he's going to work with. So he's bringing them a value while he's acquiring customers, right? So these are the things that we need to hear. Now, I don't care about a long list of who your competitors are. I care about why I'm not going to go to them instead of you. And the third thing I want to say, and the fourth thing maybe, is we've all noticed throughout this cohort, there are 2 or 3 areas where there are at least 2 or 3 founders doing something the same or very similar. And I've mentioned this to each of you that I've spoken with in sessions in the first round of our conversations anyway. I haven't been beating the dead horse, so to speak, but I think that somebody who's talking about delivering research and somebody who's connecting researchers and companies should maybe talk, and maybe they can go into business together if they can check their egos and make it work. If I'm talking about companies, looking at companies that are doing logistics, companies that want to connect logistics and transfers and so on, then maybe they should talk. right? Because the strength of the solution that you own a third of is, if it's 10 times as strong as the solution that you own 100% of, that's a similar way of making the statement that I would rather own 20% of a business worth $1 million than 100% of a business worth $10. So you should take a look closely, and both sides, or all three sides, need to take a look and say, okay, what are the strengths that each of us bring? What are the strengths of our solutions? How can we overlap, intertwine, connect these together? And then, hey, if you've made an impression on me and somebody else has made an impression on me, then I bet two of you working together could even make a stronger impression on an investor. Thanks.
Thank you, Daniel. I see just one hand up. I see just one. Okay. Two. Okay, so those are the two questions we'll take. Any more? Any more?
Hey, Sheikh, can I offer a suggestion?
Okay.
I think if there are only two founders with questions, I think you should maybe allow mentors to maybe just give feedback in general on some particular ones, because I noticed some things about, something similar to what Daniel said. You see ed tech and you see logistics. I think there's some things that mentors here can share and can add to the business strategies here.
Okay, actually, that's what I was going to do. That's why I'm trying to save time to give mentors who didn't comment on particular founders, but feel strongly about the ideas and want to. That's why I'm trying to save time. So we have just two questions. Kwame first, then Stephen next. Kwame, you go first.
Okay. Hi. So it was just about the response I got. I know I didn't actually have enough time to finish up, but I would like to tell the mentor who reviewed mine that if you saw my short pitch, you'll see that I actually talked about verified skill service provider. So that's the selling point. That's the secret, like I was saying, or like you mentioned when you said, what am I doing differently? The number of all these people around, or what am I doing differently? It's providing verified and vetted service providers. That's the different end. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a question. You're just trying to make sure it doesn't. Okay. Okay, good. Stephen, your question. John, I'm not going to take your question because I asked. Stephen.
Okay, so my question is concerning the pitch deck. For me, I follow the FI sample given, like stage by stage. And like, for example, I needed to, if there was a place I needed to put in about how our mentorship program works. And the stages and different levels of mentorship that we provide. But I saw the pitch deck and I tried to follow what is given there. So I didn't bother putting all of that in. So I'm wondering, do we really have to follow it word for word, or do we have to, at some point, go on to add other things if it's possible? Because with this, it's like we're just trying to meet up time, just trying to meet up. For me, I felt like if you go beyond this, you're going to go above with 3 minutes. So just remove some information and try to fly with the other ones.
I think Steve wants to respond to Daniel. You want to respond to that?
I'm going to suffer the wrath of Madam A, maybe, or Lady A, or both of them, when I say that templates are meant to give you an idea, right? So I suggested to somebody I spoke with yesterday to change that T page to quadrants like Gartner does. And I noticed that he didn't, but I also know that he didn't have a lot of time because he did 10 other things I told him to do. But that's just one example, right? If there are different ways to present what you need to present, right? And I've told many of the people in sessions, take a look at who your competitors are. Take a look at what they pitched to get a $10 million investment or a $1 million investment. See what they're saying. Keep it brief, keep it precise, but the template is to make sure you don't miss anything. That doesn't mean everything in there needs to be there. right? Rules are made to be followed, but rules are made to be broken. Right now, you guys are all going through levels of maturity as you go through this process. Anybody who happens to get canceled out after this, which I only was aware of what would happen tonight, probably because I don't pay enough attention, then that doesn't mean that you failed. It just means you've not succeeded. And failing fast is one of the key critical things in the startup world, right? So if your project turns out that 5 people in the mentor side have said bad idea, then maybe it's a bad idea. If 5 people have told you to look at partnering up with somebody else or change part of your model or adjust something, then you can come away and you can change, or you can pivot into a slightly different approach. I know 2 or 3 that I talked to in the first round of mentoring sessions. When we were talking, I refused to evaluate anybody's pitches at that stage because they were workshops, right? They brought you to where we are today, right? And every one of you can improve. Every one of you has improved. The whole point is now you need to get comfortable enough within your own skin, within your own business idea, to be able to tell us what's going on. And there's only a few things that are absolutely necessary to me. One, don't have your name and email address and stuff on the front slide. I'm not interested yet. I don't care. Get me interested. Then you can tell me who you are later, right? If you're still talking and I'm still listening by the time you get to the team page, then that's a slightly different perspective. I want to know who the team are and so on, but I don't need your contact details up front, right? I want a tagline. I told somebody yesterday and today, if I was describing to you a movie and I said it was Die Hard on a Mountain or Die Hard on a cruise ship, you would know exactly what it was, right? So come up with something that clearly gives me an idea about what it is, right? Next thing you need to have in your pitch deck is, what is the problem? Right? Look at the 10 questions that Madam A put up for us. Is your idea viable? Is there a real problem? Has the research proven that the problem exists? Is the market viable? Is it large enough? Right? That's all. Those are the problems. Right? Then you have a solution to those problems, which has to make sense. And then you have to have a revenue model that makes sense. And you have to have a way to acquire customers that will allow you to deliver to that revenue model. Right? Name, even if you call your company Susan right now, I don't care, right? As long as I know you have a problem clearly identified, you have a solution to exploit that market and intelligent ways that are going to generate revenue. That's my view. I'm sure some of my colleagues here have similar or different angles on what I've said, but I think that next time, your decks need to be more personal to your business and to your own style. Thank you.
Thank you. John, I'm going to take your question because you're persistent. And I love entrepreneurs and business people who are persistent. So I'll take your question. So your question.
Okay, so mine is on a lighter note. My presentation was first and it was incomplete. So I want to ask the mentors, with my incomplete and not so great pitch, hypothetically, if I was going to buy you coffee, would you accept?
I think I can take a dig at this.
Yes, Ibrahim, please do. Please do.
Yeah. First of all, the goal, you need to understand the goal and what you're trying to achieve, right? I think this is a mock session. And as an investor, I haven't invested in any startup yet, but I have meetings with investors almost all the time. And if there's one thing that an investor does not have, is time. Daniel said something very, very 2 words that I picked out of what he said earlier regarding paying attention. There's a lot that in a day, an investor may get 10 decks or may have 10 presentations. So how can you make yourself stand out in a situation where an investor looks at over 1,000 decks a year or talks to over 1,000 startups a year, in that order to get up to 10 investments in 1 year. So you really have to stand out. Now, one thing, and I'll jump to the first question that was asked because I want to provide feedback. Every time you're giving slides, this is a mindset thing that you have to change. We as Nigerians especially, we're used to this square peg in that if we're giving something, we must follow it absolutely, right? And that was how we were raised and taught in school, that if you don't go, you're given a guide of, 11 slides, that means I have to make 11. You can actually make 7, you can make 5, you can make 2. It all depends on you. It's a guide as long as you can get the message out. So you need to break away from that mindset that it has to be exactly like this. But there are certain key points that you have to get through. So John, the key thing for you is, okay, how can I practice, number 1, to get my presentation within 3 minutes? 3 minutes is a very long time in startup language or in the startup world, especially for an investor. Don't forget that the attention span starts to zone out after, 90 seconds or 4 or 5 minutes. So it's very important that you, first of all, how do you make that impact? What is your goal of this meeting or this presentation that you are making? And that's why I'll say, okay, if you're going and you're pitching on stage, right, where you're going to a pitching competition, then it's less text, more visuals, key points, speaking slowly and not speeding and confusing everybody. It's like, what are the key points that you want to hit that will gather that attention of the investor, that will say, hey, I like what this person is saying. I want to have a conversation with them. And I'll give you an example. There was one investor that we reached out to. We sent our deck to him and said, hey, we'd like to meet you, blah, blah, blah. He replied immediately, I don't invest in Africa. I don't know that market. I'm sorry, I'm not going to invest. Have a nice day. We said, thank you. I was pissed, but these things happen. We ended up on stage like 2 months later. This was June last year. We wrote him. He rejected us. August last year, we were on stage. 3-minute pitch, hit the key points. Guess what happened? Somebody sent us a message. Hello, I just saw your pitch. I'd like to have coffee with you, right? And that today is one of our biggest investors. So you get the rejections, you get everything, but the key thing is, what do you want to achieve in those 3 minutes? How can I talk about like what Daniel has said? What is the problem I'm solving? How am I solving that problem? Who are you as a team for me as an investor to believe that you can do that? What have you done so far to achieve or stand out in this problem? In terms of your competition, they don't really care. Like he said, why should I invest in you, or why should I look at you instead of your competition, right? And your competition is not competition per se, but rather, hey, our competitors have done this. That shows validation that our idea is good. And we are in early. Maybe you missed out on that. We are the right team to back. So these are things that you need to do. Get the messaging in fast so that you can secure that next meeting. Thanks.
Thank you, Brian. So our mentors, I know we listened and we sort of got interested in some pitches, but we weren't selected to comment or give feedback for those people. So if you have any mentor who has a comment, let's make it short. We have barely 15 minutes, give or take, to go. So if you have a comment, you could just signify, let me know, then you give your comment on any particular thing. Yeah, Shola, you want to?
Sorry, I was going to go. Yeah, I was going to say, well, John asked a question, would I go to coffee with you? Would I let you buy me coffee? Obviously, I'll let you, because it's not that I love coffee. I also like the idea. I think you have something there. I think what you didn't do well is really convince people that you can do what you're saying you want to do. research is a big deal. By virtue of the work that we do at OIA, by working with different startups across the continent to just address all these different issues, many times we try to pull data, it's not where to be found. You can't really research anything properly. I think you have something. I think you didn't do enough good job to convince people that you can accomplish what you're trying to do. Secondly, you're trying to focus on primary institutions, primary and secondary schools. I don't think that's where the biggest market is for you. I think, universities, I think that's where, the bigger market is there for you, I think, because universities are doing, they're larger institutions, they're doing more, the scope of work is much larger than primary and secondary school. So there's a whole lot more that they need to research for, especially when they're doing theses, when they're doing their finals. There's so much that they would need to do there. I think just focusing on just primary and secondary is not enough. I think you need to maybe, consider universities. For those that are doing EdTech, I think we're working with some company in the EdTech area. One thing I found in Africa in general, whenever we talk to EdTech people, EdTech, the current strategy is to catch people up to, being able to take on the jobs that are on the market today. The problem with that is it's not forward looking because market is evolving, technology is evolving, jobs are evolving. There's a company called Career Karma. What we wanted to do 6 years ago, Career Karma did it 2 years ago and they raised $40 million. Because 6 years, 7 years ago, we were thinking about how to make it forward looking, but we didn't do it. You need to make your EdTech forward looking. The jobs are going to be changing. What Career Karma is doing right now is to prepare people for jobs of tomorrow, such that they are taking market away from Harvard. They're taking market away from Princeton University. They're taking market away from Yale University because people don't want to go to school and study a bunch of courses that they don't need for the job market anymore. They want curated courses. They want things that will prepare them for tomorrow. There's so much that's happening that you may not even know. Amazon, Elon Musk, and a few other people are trying to digitalize Africa by next year. There's so much information that will be available because there will be widespread internet going forward from 2023. So I would encourage you to really look at forward-looking strategies than catching people up to the jobs that are on the market today, because the jobs that are on the market today will be obsolete. The ones about the logistics, and I'll round up really quickly. We have done last mile. I think last mile is I think you should consider last mile. I really like Daniel's advice about collaborating and just working together, because there are dispatchers in Nigeria right now. I mean, you're all coming up with all these different complex, logistics strategies when someone can get a dispatcher to go deliver something in 25 minutes or in 10 minutes. Dispatchers are going everywhere. Whenever we have ideas in Nigeria, like we have to test, like we have an energy idea that we're working on in Nigeria, we needed to take it to the energy board in Nigeria to get it tested. It was taking too long. They were waiting on us. One of the founders that were working, we just sent a dispatcher just to take it there. He got there on time. Imagine if you had to drive there or if you had to go do all this complex logistics. It takes time. I've done last mile before, and I know last mile works. I think there's a way to reduce the cost of last mile in Nigeria. I think it's how we run it in Nigeria. I think it's the mode of transportation that we'll have to use in Nigeria that will sort of lower the cost. But definitely consider it, and consider dispatchers as well. So that's something that I just want to kind of add to, in general, to everyone. I'd like a few ideas. I think overall, many great ideas here, but they're very similar in certain way. I think there's some unique things in each area, but from one founder to the other, but the industries are the same. So I like it in general, but I just think, make it forward looking, and then also just think about last mile and dispatchers.
Okay, thank you.
If I could just take a second and elaborate on very sane and intelligent comments Solo was making on the two areas. One, if you're going to look at last mile in Nigeria, look at Quick, right? These guys have got a huge amount of money. They got a huge amount of marketing and branding and a whole bunch of partnerships. You see these green and white motorcycles with green and white jackets and helmets all over the place. So everybody is constantly reminded of their awareness. Yet as much money as Roman has raised already, he is focused only on Legos right now, because he knows that to get last mile everywhere, he's got to do the same thing, replicate the same model in a bunch of other places. So take a look at what he's done, find his pitch deck, which is probably out there somewhere on the website, see the way that he talked about it. And on the ed tech side of things, you couldn't be more precise in terms of don't educate and offer what's there today, right? Yes, there's lots of competition. There's a reason for it. But take a look at their business models. Take a look at how many of them are actually making money. Take a look at the amount of courses that they have. I've done ed tech in the past, some time ago. I'm currently working with a Nigerian company, working with a partner in the Arabian Gulf and a consultancy where there's a whole bunch of ed tech going to be delivered there. And we've decided all in a 1 hour meeting that it's going to be somebody else's LMS platform, white labeled because it exists and it works. And most of the courses that we're going to create are going to be purchased, right? And this is a company that already has a vast amount of customers to deliver these to. The people that you want to help get jobs don't have money. The high school students don't have money. University students don't have money, but they have a little bit more than high school students do, right? So if you can find ways to leverage what they're up to, and if a university student has already got access to YouTube and TED Talks and the Harvard webpage where you can actually audit online courses at Harvard and many other universities already for free, then and lots of these other places like Udemy, etc. Now, some of them have specific focuses on what they deliver, but if you keep looking a little further on Google, you'll find somebody doing something anywhere with everything that you're thinking about. You have to compete against those. If I'm going to pay you for a course, I need to know that that course is worth paying for and better than all of the other alternatives that I have. And if you don't have that content yet, you can't demonstrate it to me. And you might lose me, you might get the next guy, but you need to have more than just what somebody else is doing. You need to be solving a problem in what they do. Airbnb is basically people using their homes to improve on hotels, right? Give more choices, give more options, and people get to earn money. So there's an interesting angle back and forth. Trouble is, Airbnb is now outpriced hotels because of service charges and things. So they themselves are needing to pivot. Uber replacing taxis where they're allowed to do it and where it's legal, and there's a really good answer for it. But again, you've got people that are earning money that are going to be driving the vehicles, and you've got customers that are going to get a better service. It's very precise, it's very clear, and what they're doing, like I say, Die Hard on a yacht, Die Hard on an airplane. You know what it is, right? And yes, Die Hard's already been made, and Die Hard on an ocean liner has already been made. So you need to start talking about why your movie is better, why your movie is necessary, why your movie is going to attract people to buy tickets and put their bums in the seats to watch it. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Lady A.
All right, so it's been a great evening, and thank you so much, mentors, for providing great feedback and advice to the founders. We're eternally grateful, and as usual, we'll want you to set up your office hours so that each founder can, benefit more and, get in-depth feedback or support on the particular projects they're working in. And yes, I'm in agreement about collaboration, partnerships, because similar ideas, and most founders keep asking, can I find a co-founder? Can I find a co-founder? This is one of the ways, to find a co-founder. And Founder Institute, the founders of Founder Institute all met at an accelerator program and became co-founders to form Founder Institute. And through a couple of cohorts we've had, founders have also found each other and, are currently partnering. So that's food for thought. And founders, well done. Well done. We see a lot of progress. However, the ratings will be out later tonight, and some may not proceed to the next level, but like I said, it's all good. You take the feedback, you work on it, and just keep at it. And I wish everyone best of luck, and also have a very, very great evening. So Shola, we've not seen you in a while, so it was good to have you on this panel, Shola Adekoye. So next step is for you to set up office hours. Yes. So, and I think I see those in research, Tombari will need your support. Who else? I think Somto, and who else is that? Working on research projects. They'll need Balogun. Yes, you'll need to engage officers. Ibrahim, thank you also. At short notice, we called on you. Thanks for being here, Mahmoud. Thanks. We've seen quite a bit of you this cohort, and we still have another mentor review coming up, progress review, And Daniel, thank you. Emmanuel, yeah. So we had some mentors who could not join, but they promised to set up office hours. So thanks as always. We're grateful. Founder Institute is grateful for all your time and effort, leaders, founders, and hopefully we'll all be celebrating and driving home the results that we all want to change the face of our own economy in Nigeria and Africa, and we're depending on bright entrepreneurs and innovators. Founder Institute is quite challenging, where we have loads and loads and loads of materials, so we just try as much as possible to use the templates to guide you. Yes, and where Founder Institute also tries to operate and teach founders how to design lean content, lean programs, lean structures. So we struggle as well with our founders here, because they're used to if their content is not loaded with what they don't think they've done justice. But you've heard from the mentors, just keep it light. The investors don't have time. Just keep it light. You just want an inroad, and you must narrow down or drill down on that, that tagline, that information, that content that would elicit interest, to open the door and get the next meeting with the investor. So thank you all for listening and joining us all here tonight, and do have a happy night rest. Thank you. Bye for now. Okay, Daniel. Okay, comments are noted. Yeah.
Good night, all.
Bye, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.